Showtime Synergy.
Hi, this is Christy Marks, creator of Gem and the Holograms, and you're listening to a truly outrageous podcast with Mike, Amy, and Nicole. It's Showtime Synergy.
Hello and welcome to Showtime Synergy, the Gem Review podcast here on the Geekcast Radio Network. I am M. Joining me are my hologram girls, Amy, hello.
Hello!
And Nicole, hello.
Nom 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 nom.
Nobody's going to get that reference, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody.
We're just chewing on the show today.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Well, if it's not the technical errors, it's the food. Sorry.
Oh, God.
Let's this episode out. Woo!
We're all about one-liners this round.
All right. Today, there's no way in hell this is ever going to make any sense.
But the randomness will be hilarious.
Yeah. In this episode, we'll be giving you our thoughts on the next 3 episodes of Gem and the Holograms Season 1. Those being Island of Deception, what's the other one? Old Meets New, and the Indy 500 episode. So
at the Indy 500.
Thank you. Yes. We will be back with the first episode after this. All right, first up today is Island of Decepticon.
You mean Deception?
I wish. That's what this episode needs is more Starscream.
And for a second there, I thought I actually wrote out the title as Island of Decepticon. It doesn't. It says Island of Deception. The original air date was November 8th, 1986. Gem and the Holograms are invited to perform at a concert in St. Thomas and travel aboard a luxury ocean liner to get there. Eric and the Misfits, who are convinced there is a publicity stunt going on, tag along and cash in on it. Later that evening, after giving a performance for the passengers and crew of the ship, Gem and the Holograms are tricked by the Misfits into hiding out aboard a lifeboat under the misconception of giving the ship's captain a surprise for his birthday. When the prank goes wrong, it strands the Holograms and the Misfits on a tropical island. The girls, despite their rivalry, must try to survive and then get help from a hermit named Angus, who is living on the island.
Who has a horrible accent.
Yes.
Who falls in love with the first thing he sees.
Being Stormer.
Honestly, do you blame him? He probably hasn't seen a woman in a few years. I mean...
And now he's got an island full of them.
Yes.
And Stormer's a good-looking girl. She's pretty.
Yeah.
But
it's just Pizzazz that's the ugly one.
Yeah, but
Pizzazz isn't ugly. She just needs to take off the makeup.
Yes,
She
but
needs
his
to
whole
stop-
reason for being there was because a woman broke his heart, and you know that this is going to end in tears.
The featured songs for this episode were Set Your Sails by Gem and the Holograms and It Takes a Lot to Survive by the Misfits. The plot was interesting. I thought it was finally nice to see them trying to work together to get out of a situation that the Misfits actually got them into in the first place.
Yeah, they were the publicity stunt.
Yeah, you think? I mean, we're 7 podcasts into this 25 long show here, and we're what is this? The God, what is this? Like the 15th, 20 something episode overall of the series,
20th,
and it's like, yeah, I mean, we're 20 episodes into a 26 long episode season, and I understand the premise. I get it. The Misfits have to be, doing these stupid things to, have Jim and the Holograms have to, come out of it. But, oh my God, you'd think that they would know better by now and come up with some other way that doesn't ruin it for themselves.
I
They
know
can't do
people
that.
like this, though. I know people like this. Some people just don't learn. And to me, it's believable. I mean, I have a friend that I'm kind of dealing with right now. She never learns anything. It's like when she goes to bed, it resets. It's like 51st dates with her and her mistakes.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I don't. It's really weird. I call her my friend, but she has issues. She'll get over it eventually. I'm just helping her along.
At
So I
some
can
point
see
she
this
will.
happen. Yeah. So,
No, I think you'd think that they'd get over it, but the thing is that those are the type of people that are completely blind to their problems, and the Misfits are totally blind to their problems.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, but see, they're totally blind to the fact that they cause their own problems.
Exactly.
I mean, this isn't just happening just now. This has been happening since day one. I think the only thing that you cannot blame them for ruining is when Zipper set the fire in the mansion.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't their fault. It was his fault.
They weren't even there.
Yeah, I mean, it just it just I don't know. I find it hard to root for them
I
at
think
all.
Pizzazz is the one that's the most messed up, and the other two are just,
Yes.
Pizzazz is just the drug they can't quit.
mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Even though there are several times and several things that, the white-haired blonde bimbo does that I just don't agree with, and she needs to be in jail. Yes, Pizzazz is the downer of the group.
She's the crazy chick that is everything's about me.
Mm-hmm.
But
She's always been a spoiled brat.
Yeah.
Personally, though, I still want to hang out with her.
she knows how to have the real good fun, right?
She knows how to have. I mean, hello. I know she causes trouble. I know she causes tension and everything. But dang, that makes for some good stories. You know what I survived? I survived Pizzazz. People are like, I survived a hurricane. I survived an earthquake. I survived Pizzazz.
She's the equivalent of a hurricane. Oh.
And I want to. That'd be awesome. I survived.
She's the human version. You know what? They need to name the next hurricane Pizzazz.
That would be awesome.
They should name hurricanes after each one of the Misfits. Just saying.
That'd be awesome.
It's Stormer.
Tropical Storm Stormer.
Tropical Storm Stormer. That'd be awesome.
Just think how much more appropriate it would have been if they'd called Katrina Pizzazz.
Ain't that the truth? Any other thoughts on the plot overall, ladies?
This is your fun, lost in a deserted island, sequence.
Mm.
Every single one of them had to be done, and hey, Gilligan's Island, it works. It's kind of that version, except it's not with all the cool things made by, the professor.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other thoughts, Nicole, on the plot for this one?
No, this is one of those episodes I can remember back from when I was younger. And so when it came, I was kind of excited to watch this again because I'm like, oh, I remember this because they actually had to learn to get along, and I really liked that. So yeah, it was one of those ones like, oh, excited to see this again.
All right, we're going to get to the hologram moments after this. It's time for the hologram moments. So where are Gilligan and Skipper? It's the first thing I thought of when they said the island, and I'm like, it's gonna be a 3-hour tour.
3-hour tour.
Hey, a gramophone. That's kind of awesome.
A gramophone.
Yep.
Well, because that's where they got the Grammy Award from. It's a gramophone.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The guy that what was his name?
I,
The one with the bad accent.
Yeah, you would ask me that. Oh, the guy in the show?
Yeah.
Oh God. The hermit.
Yeah, what's his name? You just said
Angus.
Angus, yeah.
He's a slab of beef. His story is very interesting, just saying.
Yeah.
He's in the middle of John Cryer and Ashton Kutcher. Oh God.
No, I like the fact that he got lost because his heart was broken.
Yeah.
So he did never go back. I was like, dude, and you're on a roll again, aren't you? Just saying.
The cycle continues.
He is part of my hologram moment just because I think it's hilarious. He's like totally taken with Stormer. I love
it's
so
it too.
amusing.
I think it's really cute. I think it's cute.
What else you got, Amy?
I love the fact that Jem saved Stormer. Of course, Jem always has to save people, but hey, she saves him this episode, but I have to say, Rio does not get saved in 2 episodes from now. Just saying.
It's Rio, that's why.
Oh, here we go. Let's not start on Rio just yet.
It wouldn't be a proper show if we didn't.
Yes, Rio haters. That's what we're calling this podcast.
The Rio haters. Team Rio hate. Hate Rio.
Oh my God.
Okay, everyone getting along is great. I thought that was kind of cool. Okay, hologram moment. It works. It works. I think it's hilarious that Pizzazz has nothing to do on the island except say, we're all gonna starve.
Yeah.
And then she takes credit from for the fish that Kimber found. Feast.
Well, they both caught it.
Yeah, but she didn't give any credit to Kimber. She totally didn't. She's like, I know.
Yeah, I mean,
she doesn't give anything to anybody except herself. So, the moments between Kimber and Stormer are really good building moments, of course, for a future story. And Rio going for Jericho. Yeah.
This time around.
This time around, exactly.
Episodes.
I know, it's like sometimes it depends on the episode because, like I said, the Indy 500 one, he goes for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, geez, Rio, make up your mind. Those are my hologram moments.
What about you, Nicole?
Okay, Pizzazz totally nails the description of the music on the ship. This music is totally funeral. And I'm like, yes, strictly funeral. The service is bad, the food is horrible, this music is strictly funeral. And I'm like, she has some great one-liners. I love it.
There are moments when you have to agree with her because she just says it the way it is.
I know. It's just like, oh, I wish I could high five you right now, girlfriend. But strictly funeral, I love that.
I could just see that, Nicole, you as one of the Misfits.
I would love to be a Misfit.
Roxy, Stormer,
she has
Pizzazz,
the wig
and
for
Nick.
it.
Yeah, I did the whole Roxy thing.
Yeah, that would be awesome. You're the fifth Misfit.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I liked how Pizzazz decided to make a suggestion of building a radio out of seashells. Again, Gilligan's Island reference, and I loved it.
Yep.
What am I supposed to do? Make a radio out of seashells? I'm like, I would love to see her try to do that, though. And I think the Misfits have every right to be suspicious of Jerrica. I mean, they're picking up on some stuff. They're like, what's she doing? I don't blame them one bit. They're like, what is she doing? So, and for my last hologram moment, the PSA about the prescriptions, that was meant for me. And I'm like, oh, I should have watched this 2 years ago because I accidentally drugged up my friend when we went to see Godzilla. Because I gave her one of my prescriptions.
How did you do that?
Okay.
Did you just accidentally pour it in her drink and think it was yours? Or what?
Okay, so we're going to Godzilla, and my friend is having a horrible time being a girl. You know, she's like, "This is the worst pain I've been in ever," and I'm like, "Well, I got the good stuff." Okay. People are gonna...
Whenever Nicole says that, beware.
she's like, oh, give it to me. I need something really bad. She's like, I've never been in this much pain ever. And I'm like, okay. So I give it to her, and we go in to see Godzilla. And all of a sudden, like 15 minutes later, she just leans back in her chair, and I'm like, is she okay? What's going on here? Is she okay? Halfway during the movie, she turns to me in this drugged out daze, and she's just like, I can't feel my arms. And I'm like, oh, you're welcome. She slept for 12 hours after that.
Oh my god.
Hey, I was helping out a friend. I didn't. So
this is the altruistic way of Nicole. I was helping out a friend.
And so when I saw that PSA, I was like, yeah, that's true. You should give out your prescription drugs because you don't know how people will react to it. So I was clapping and laughing.
Anything from that movie then?
Huh? She remembers. She's like, I don't remember anything. To the time she turns to me and she's like, in the middle of it, she's like, "Where's his fiery breath? Where's his fiery?" And then like 2 seconds later, it happened. You know, she's like, "Ah, there it is." I mean, she's just totally drugged up, and then she fell back asleep. So that's what she remembers. She remembers the whole 10 minutes of the movie.
So who was driving then?
I
was.
You
guys left. Okay, I was just gonna say.
Okay, while we get over the fact that a couple of years ago Nicole was a drug dealer, let's get to the Misfit moments.
Oh no, this just happened last summer.
Quit dragging your feet, Eric. I hate the sea. Why couldn't we fly to the island like normal people?
There's gotta be a reason the holograms are taking this tub instead of a jet.
It's some kind of publicity stunt, and the Misfits are gonna cash in on it.
It is time for the Misfit moments for Island of Deception. I know it's plot driven, but this episode never would have happened if the Misfits if they hadn't done what they did. Yeah. And I'm really, really getting sick of them pulling all these stunts when it only eventually gets them into trouble.
Yeah.
It only hurts them when they're trying to make trouble for Jem.
And usually they get, Jem and the holograms get dragged into it. And who comes out on top?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. And also, at the end of the episode, Jerrica is the one returning with them. Why does no one ask where Jem is, or why Jem can't be touched?
Mhm.
Like, you would think if Eric or the Misfits or whoever, want to know these things, you'd think they'd ask the question.
She had to go to the bathroom at the last second.
Yeah. Wasn't this the one where Stormer... Yeah, Jem saves Stormer because she was underwater.
And she turns into Jerrica.
They wash that under the ocean so fast, and it'll make your head spin. It's like, oh yeah, no, Stormer, you're just a ditzy blue-haired babe. You don't know anything. You don't know what the hell you said. It's like, really, seriously, you're gonna pull that crap?
Mm.
What about you, Amy?
I thought, I threw a bunch of things in the Misfit moments. Throwing food is rude. Just saying.
But it's so much fun. Have you ever?
I know.
Haven't you ever had a food fight?
Yes, but they're all dressed up nice. They're on a really, really cool cruise. Yes, the music is crap, but throwing food is rude.
I got kicked out of a restaurant once because my friend started a food fight.
Oh my gosh, really? Wow.
Because, it had a salad bar, and...
Oh, no.
And so she decided to take the chocolate pudding that was at the end and throw it on me. And I think I want to say it was beets or something that I threw at her.
No way, are you serious?
Yeah.
You threw Tony Chu's kryptonite at her?
And so the hilarity pursued. Wow.
Oh my God.
So we are.
I need to hang out with you more often.
So
maybe that could be a hologram moment.
So we no longer invited to go to King Arthur's Pizza Palace here.
Oh, wow.
Actually, it's shut down. It's no longer here, but it was awesome when it lasted.
Wow. Okay, so I hope they also learn their. I also hope they learn their lesson about walking off into the forest without the whole group because,
Yeah.
wild pigs come after them. Paranoia from Pizzazz about the publicity that she expects Jerrica to bring only brings them more problems. And then, of course, I've already mentioned this, but I had to put it in the hologram moment. Angus's luck has changed until the ship comes back and Stormer leaves, breaking his heart again.
Aww.
Which means he remains on the island.
He could have got on a ship with him. He's the dummy. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why he didn't go for Kimber.
Because everyone goes for Kimber. Because Kimber is the boy horror. Right now. We need to give someone else a shot. I'm sorry, that came out really mean. But you know what? He could have gone on that ship and been with Stormer, and they could have had nice little furry blue-haired babies everywhere.
Furry blue-haired babies. Oh my gosh!
Yep.
Wow. And then last, but certainly not least, because I always have to take a stab at Rio. How long have they been gone for Rio to grow that much?
I know that 5 o'clock shadows were like 3 days.
Yeah.
And he's gray, so he's not a natural purple-haired man, people.
Yeah, I know. It's just really freaky.
I know, it's just like, hey, you're old.
I just want to know who he's more excited to see, Jerrica or Jem.
He's probably just like, oh, dang it. Uh-oh.
Jerrica's here, so I have to be for her. If she wasn't, then I'd be totally for Jem.
You would have been awesome because Jerrica was the physical and Jem was the hologram. It'd been funny if he ran up to Jem and just went right through her.
How to explain that one, eh?
And then the secret's totally out because everyone was there.
Yeah. Except Eric.
Yeah, except Eric.
But I'm sure that the Misfits will let him know, Yeah. Or they'll just forget.
To tell everyone.
Say, oh, yeah, by the way, she's a hologram.
Oh, I could totally turn this around. So, they're on the island, and everyone finds out except for Eric. So Zaz and the rest of the Misfits know. So that means Gem and the Holograms has to kill them, and then we got the super, freaky horror film going on.
That'll come
And
back to
Eric
what we were
has
talking
to go
about
and
with
try to
cannibalism.
Yeah, and then Eric has
Stop
to go and
it!
and then Eric has to go and try to find the misfit, and then he becomes the hero of the movie. Man,
Oh my god.
this is what I'm not allowed to write.
Eric becoming the hero of anything is just wrong.
It's Shattered Glass, Chip, and the Hologram.
Oh my god. Oh my god. No. This needs to happen. Seriously. Someone needs to take Jim and the Holograms, make them the bad guys, make the Misfits the good. I want to see how people would do Shattered Glass, Jim and the Holograms.
Oh, let me write it. I could so do this. And then I could make Roxy the hero. Yay. Oh.
What are your misfit moments for this episode, Nicole?
It's not a misfit moment. That's my hologram moment of me.
I know. What are your misfit moments?
My misfit moment. Okay, let's see. Oh, I did put this in my hologram moment, but in my notes. Stormer was always looking out for other people, like that one. But my biggest misfit moment was there's elephants in the Caribbean. Out of all the things they could have done a hologram to scare off things, why an elephant? Maybe
That's
about
because
large.
the Misfits didn't know any better. I mean, were they like, hey, why are there elephants here?
Why is the elephant here? I just thought that was really weird.
I think that's probably just another animation thing. They just threw whatever animals they wanted to in there.
They could have done.
It's synergy. It's synergy. It was a hologram, right?
I know.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So it's just that the Misfits just aren't smart enough to know.
Synergy should have put an animal in there that made sense. So,
like the aardvark.
Yeah, that killer
like
aardvark.
a snake, a big killer anaconda. There you go.
Yeah. And then
should have had to go to your house to pick that one up.
Let's see. Because Jericho went under the water to save Stormer. Her earrings shorted out, but they don't apparently short out when she's hanging underneath a waterfall. Okay. No, so they didn't short out when they're at the waterfall. And it's just like, no.
Maybe the waterfall was a hologram too.
Oh, there you go. But they came out all wet.
That was a hologram as well.
Oh, see, that's
sorry. It was all a hologram. It was all in your mind.
And Jericho was definitely a show off when she rescued Aja from that snake. She was kind of arrogant there. And I'm like, this doesn't really seem like Jericho. But
yeah, but
she's a Girl Scout.
Oh God. Yeah.
So yeah, those were my misfits. I didn't have a whole lot of misfits moments. I was really like this episode. And Rio. Okay, we already talked about Rio and his old man beard.
Yep.
What? What was that? You know what? Maybe Rio should have been left on the island and great.
The holograms keep this up, and he's going to turn completely gray.
I know.
Everything that they go through, and he has to be there to save them, and he gets 3 gray hairs for every single time that they do that, right? Means by the end of at the end of season 3, he should have been gray.
God.
Secretly, actually, he goes in and get his hair like permed that color, so he actually underneath the purple, it is completely gray.
Oh my God! All right, we're gonna move on to the next episode before any more debauchery happens. Up next is Old Meets New, aired November 15th, 1986, when Jim and the Holograms perform a cover of a song called Rock and Roll is Forever. At an outdoor concert, they infuriate an elderly singer named Bobby Bailey, who turns out to have been the lead singer of a 1950s rock and roll band called Bobby Bailey and the Tornadoes. Wow, there's so many damn storms we were talking about today. However, Bobby turns out to be a man with a big heart, but also a big problem. His flat is scheduled for demolition, and Eric Raymond is behind it. Will Gem and the Holograms manage to help Bobby, or will the Wrecking Ball win the day? The featured songs are Rock and Roll is Forever, Gem and the Holograms, Jack Take a Hike, the Misfits, and Let's Not Forget the Past, Gem and the Holograms. I really like this one. This is probably one of the ones that I actually do remember watching as a kid. Now that I've watched it again, I do remember seeing this one as a kid because it was obviously based around the whole music industry and the history of it. I think the plot is well executed. There isn't too many things in here that make me want to throw a microphone at the screen. Actually, I only have one Misfit moment out of the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
But no, I thought this was really cool where, you know, they're just trying to do their best, and, you know, we come to find out there's this guy who actually did the song, and, when all's said and done, he gives them permission to still do it, and it was really awesome. I really dug this one. What about you, Amy?
Yeah, but Bobby is very it's like
bitter Bobby.
Bitter. And
Bobby
he's
Bailey.
very hard to please. He's like, oh, you guys, you're just a bunch of dumb rock stars that don't know nothing. Rock stars these days, and, poor Kimber, she tries her best to just kind of win him over, and he's crotchety. He's grumpy.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, he, learns his lesson in the end.
True. He wins, Gem and the Holograms, more like Kimber kind of wins him over. So he's like, oh, I guess you guys aren't that bad. Yeah, because we, saved your flat. Hello.
Well, and let's face it. I mean, Kimber needs some sort of... I wish that they would have done, every 3 or 4 episodes be on the other hologram girls, because, I mean, Kimber has had several storylines to this point in the first season.
Asha can't drive, so she needs another. She needs another thing that she's got to do.
This episode, she wasn't allowed to drive. Jericho was driving.
No. Yeah, no. Asha wasn't allowed to drive.
She's got too many tickets. She's got to go. She's got to go to traffic school before she can drive again.
She has less than 5 points on her license.
No, it would have been great if Aja had been the one that'd be like, hey, I really like this Bobby guy. We should do stuff to try and figure out how to make him, Kimber, she's just, not only is she, the girl that's always attracting all the guys, but she's attracting all the attention now too, because she's doing all the other things that, they're like, oh, something must be wrong with her because she's in, researching. It's like, what if it had been Aja?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's the same thing with Shayna. It's like, what the hell has Shayna done in the past 20-something episodes?
No, she had her
fashion thing, yes.
Fashion thing.
But I'm saying, romantically, what the hell has she done in the last 20 episodes? She had that thing with what's his name?
Anthony, I think.
Anthony, yeah.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What the hell happened to Anthony? It's like, it's kind of like, what the hell happened to Jeff? What the hell happened to this person? What the hell, it's like...
Steve, Jeff, let's see, the line goes...
Well, that's just Kimber's, Kimber's check-off
Entourage,
list. Yeah. Go back to what I said earlier in the show. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just proves my point right there. Mm-hmm. Kimber was, my favorite when I was younger, and I'm just like, no, you're the one person I don't want to meet.
What did you think of the plot for this one, Amy?
It was good. I don't really have much of a comment on it other than it was kind of cool to see, them kind of doing one where they're, looking back at the good the people that have contributed to rock and roll and that type of stuff, and that was good.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Nicole?
Well, I love classic rock. I mean, my screen name
Obviously
gives it away. And so I kind of like to think that, what was it? Bobby Bailey and the
Tornadoes.
Or Tornadoes. I like to think that it was what was it, like an homage to Rory Storm and the Hurricanes, which was Ringo Starr's first band that he was a drummer in. So it's just like, okay, you get an extra half a point just for that, okay? Because it might be a Beatles reference. I like to think so. I
don't know. Did they ever have an apartment that almost got knocked down and turned into a rock and roll museum?
You need to go watch Help. It wasn't turned into a rock and roll museum, but they had the most awesome apartment.
Maybe it is then. Maybe it is a reference. Yeah.
See, I equate this to this apartment place. I equate it to Studio City.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's really what I equate this place to. You know, I saw the documentary on Studio City, and that was just amazing. All of those musicians coming together, and not all at once, but just the musicians that passed through Studio City's halls. That's what I kind of equated the apartment place to. Any other thoughts on the plot?
It was like I said, I hardly have any kind of like big misfit moments. Like I said, there was nothing that totally annoyed me, so that was good. So that was it.
All right, we're into the hologram moments after this. All right, it's time for hologram moments for old meets new. What?
Old meets new.
Old meets instead of M-E.
No, not.
Everything's gonna start coming up.
No.
Everything's gonna start sounding good to eat now.
Next thing you're gonna tell me next time we do one of these podcasts, when we talk about the two-parter, the Gem Jam, that it's strawberry jam at the Gem Jam.
No.
How do you know it's not raspberry?
No. Have you ever seen Soylent Green?
Oh,
there
Lord.
you go. Soylent Green is people.
Okay. I think I've lost my appetite.
And you just said raspberry, and all I can think of is, how dare he raspberry me? Spaceballs. Oh God. All right. Hologram moments for old meets new. Well, that was an interesting cliffhanger with the wires. And Eric Raymond has turned into Lex Luthor,
which is awesome.
He has, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he pretty much turned into Lex Luthor.
I can see those two being buddies.
Well, they'd be BFFs.
You know, the whole land deal, the whole real estate thing.
But think about it. Lex Luthor can't tell the difference between Superman and Clark Kent because of a pair of glasses. Eric Raymond can't tell apart Jem and Jerica because of like different hair color. These two might have something. Just think about it.
Oh my God!
I've got something going on. I've got something.
Yes.
I think you have something there. Yeah.
This is part. This is gonna be part of my my Shattered Glass fanfic.
Let's not forget the fact that he always seems to come up with a whole lot of money. Maybe he's always like, hitting Lex up for money, So when he goes broke, it's like, Lex, I need some help. He's like, all right, what do you need this time? What's it for?
I promise you, I'll take care of Superman eventually. Superman versus Pizzazz. Let's do it. Her hair is like green kryptonite. Oh, this is coming together so well.
This fan fiction is getting crazy.
Doesn't fan fiction always get crazy?
Usually.
Yeah.
I'm
What do
sorry,
you have?
Nicole, I'm on a sugar high.
Like we hadn't noticed. It doesn't... Amy, I just found out it doesn't matter if it's after midnight. She's not responsible for anything. She does 24 hours a day.
This
Yeah,
would
I'm
be a
right.
good
I'm
caveat,
the
yeah.
Pizzazz of the real world.
Oh, no. You're... You would need to be a millionaire's daughter for that to happen.
I am a daddy's girl.
Oh, God.
Daddy.
I was waiting for that. Thank you.
Daddy.
Oh,
Daddy.
what do you got for hologram moments, Amy?
I like what Stormer says. Stormer's right. Eric has weird hobbies.
Love it.
Let's see. Eric and the Misfits in trouble with the damage to the street. They do the whole, they drop the wrecking ball on the police car and they get a parking ticket. That was hilarious. I loved that. That was just made me laugh and fall out of my chair practically.
If I could go and run amok with, demolition equipment and just get a $20 parking ticket, I'm in.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
It's worth the $20.
They always get away with everything. They kind of do. There's so many times when they can be put into jail and totally have really bad things happen to them because of their bad choices. But they always get away with it. It's just like, oh my gosh. Wow.
I understand Justin Bieber now.
Oh, God,
That's
no.
scary.
You cannot bring...
Okay, you have to edit that out of the podcast.
Yeah. I am actually going to put a beep right there, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot bring Justin Bieber into Jim and the... Oh, hell no.
Think about it.
Hell no.
You've even gotten him to have his oh hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Always getting in trouble. He's always getting arrested for something. But it's like he never learns his lesson. He's taking cues from the Misfits. The Misfits.
Oh no,
made Justin Bieber.
I can do one worse. I can do one worse than that. Pizzazz is his mother.
Oh, snap.
Oh hell no. Zaz would have drowned that child.
That's what I'm talking about there, man.
Oh no,
Wow.
she would have drowned him.
Wow. Okay, so I also have to give points to the Misfits for attempting to win Bailey over with the quick concert. Oh wait, they were trying to be annoying, right? It didn't work. Oh
Really
goodness.
annoying.
I was gonna say actually liked that song, "Hit the Road, Jack."
Yeah, it was a good song.
It was a good song. So if they were trying to be annoying, it failed miserably because now it's in my hologram moment. Just saying. I like the fact that Kimber saved Bobby twice. One, when she pushes Bobby out of the way so that he doesn't get electrocuted. And two, when she saves the apartment by turning it into a rock and roll museum. Now, granted, she tried to say, no, you can't wreck it because it's residential area, so you can't turn it into a factory. But then she took it to the next level, which was a historical landmark. Yay!
Well, she had to take it to the next level because Eric had it. Eric bribed somebody, had it rezoned as business.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I also have to say, I wonder if Eric can get a refund with the public official. So.
No.
Yeah.
No. What about you,
It was
Nicole?
like poker, man. Let's see how you do with this hand. Oh, I think I have a full house. Woohoo!
And someone brings in that royal flush, and you're like,
dang, yeah.
Man.
Kimber wins! Yay!
Imagine that. It also involves a man. He's an older gentleman, but so awesome.
This should just teach you that you should never go up against a redhead. Just saying.
Is that really her true hair color, or is she dyeing it just like Rio?
Oh, good point. Good point.
Oh, God. I had just a horrible, horrible thought just now.
Uh-oh.
What, Kimber and Rio getting it on? Yeah.
No.
That is a bad thought.
No, that's not what I. Everybody has seen the old movie Witches, right?
Oh,
I think so.
Yeah.
Gem and the Holograms and the Misfits are all witches. All of their faces that we see are just the masks that they rip off when they're by themselves, and they're all old, creepy, warded up old ladies.
They throw their shoes off and their feet come out and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Oh my gosh, I need to go watch that movie. I haven't watched that for a while.
Oh my god! What are your hologram moments, Nicole?
It's kind of nice to hear a new singer that's not the Misfits or Gem. They actually have Bob B singing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of cool. I'd like to see well, we eventually will with Riot. You know, we'll see other people sing and stuff. But I thought that was interesting. And Eric won me over because he knows how to relax. He relaxes by destroying stuff, and I'm like, rock on, buddy. I wish I could have just pumped him right there. Yeah.
Just saying, weird hobbies.
Once again, Eric Raymond is the 80s version of Michael Bay. All that was missing was a bunch of explosions.
Are you trying to say that Eric is the reason why we have Michael Bay is because he inspired him?
Probably.
So we
shame on you. Shame on you.
Eric Raymond. So look at this. The Gem and the Holograms are bringing everyone into, you know, influencing everyone 30 years later. We've got Michael Bay and Justin Bieber. Yeah. So, yeah, those were my two big moments. And yeah, Kimber, she did not annoy me in this one. She actually did some really good stuff. She really tried hard to save this.
She studied. That's a big deal, man. She was like studying and everything. I don't know where she found the time to do that, but you know.
I know because this was before the internet, and so she had to go to the library. She had to go to the courthouses and stuff and get all this
public records. Yep.
Yeah, she did a lot of work on this. What were the others doing? In pedicures or something? I don't know.
They're like fixing up the apartment when Kimber wasn't.
They were fixing up the apartment when Kimber wasn't there.
That's
and
right.
Eric came in and tried to wreck it again. All right, we're going to get to the Misfit moments if there are any after this.
It's traditional to say, do away with the old.
It's traditional to say, make way for the new.
But I say, let's not forget the past, baby. Let's not forget where we came from. Let's make the memories last, baby. Let's not forget the past. If you think yesterday doesn't matter now, if you think today is all that counts, well, baby, think again. Let's not forget the past, baby. Let's not forget where we came from. Let's make the memories last, baby. Let's not forget the past. Let's not forget the past. Let's not forget the past. Whoa, yeah.
For the Misfit moments, I only have one, and I know Amy and Nicole have a couple. Mine is, somebody please lock Phyllis up and throw away the key. Please. Oh my god, she just can't. I know she can't help herself, but Jesus Christ, use your brain. That's the thing between your ears. Oh.
She is using her brain. Hers is just defective.
That's true.
God.
Maybe she needs to learn, listen to the PSAs. Don't do other people's drugs, pizzazz. If not, come here to me. I'll get some good stuff. I'm joking, people. Do not call the cops.
We need to put a PSA on this podcast about about Nicole and her drugs.
You haven't needed PSA. Don't listen to Nicole. She's great.
Don't.
Geekcast Radio, the Geekcast Radio Network is not responsible for any drug-related references Nicole D. Hale makes on this podcast.
I have not said what kind of drugs. I have caffeine pills. I've got Advil.
Okay. Anyway, Amy, what are your
Misfit moments? Okay, so Eric again makes a bad decision of getting the Misfits involved to the point where Pizzazz gets out of control and tries to take the wrecking ball and go out of control with it. Yeah. But, I have to say, maybe that could also be a hologram moment because, hello, she's a wrecker Just saying.
So there you go. You should be pizzazz, Amy, because you
I
like to wreck.
should, right?
Any wreck
Oh,
right there.
God, no. Amy is so much better than Pizzazz. Amy actually has a brain.
I just think pizzazz has just overly dyed her hair. Too much,
You're
bleach.
right. The green is starting to leach into her head.
Uh-huh.
So, in fact, it's happening to Roxy as well.
Roxy really hasn't been in hardly any at all.
Yeah, but she has her moments. She's crazy too.
I love Roxy.
Yeah.
Don't you diss her, man.
Thankfully, Bailey knows how to exactly stop this wrecking ball so it doesn't get too far out of hand because nobody else knew. But I also found it hilarious that even a compliment from, Pizzazz can turn into a weapon of choice. She's like, charmed, I'm sure, and all she gets is a growl out of Torch.
Oh, but the way that she said that was awesome.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, that was great voice acting right there.
Yeah. Eric's answer to everything is thugs or bribing public officials. Yeah.
That's how I go through my life. What's wrong with that?
I also thought it was funny that both Jem and the public officials say that it's like they know Eric before, they're like, get to the point. Jem is like, I'll get straight to the point. The public official is like, get straight to the point, please. I thought that was funny. Anyhow, I put that in my Misfit moment, but I guess that should have been in the hologram moment, actually. So, other than that, that's it. That's me.
What about you, Nicole?
Okay. I blame Jem and the Holograms for bringing us Carrot Top. Hello.
Wait, what?
That meter maid was just like Carrot Top. Look back at her. That's exactly what Carrot Top looks like right now.
Oh my god.
Okay, and then there was this big animation error of when that same ticket, that meter maid, or the gal that's giving out the tickets, it was supposed to be the Misfits laughing at her, but there was the animation error. It was Jem and the Holograms laughing at her.
Oh.
Did you notice that? Yeah. So it's just like, why would Aja do that? That's not an Aja thing. I could see Kimber being douchebaggery and doing that, but not Aja. And then again, the whole timing of this, there were so many laws passed, so many contracts signed, so many bills going through, and it was all within a matter of just a couple days. And that takes a lot of time. Unless I'm missing it, it just seems like the timing was totally off on it.
Yeah, but they got to get through it, in 20-something minute cartoons.
I know. But it felt like, we got all this done in 2 days. And it's just like, okay. Don't think so, but okay. But like
2
I said,
days maybe, but 2 days, no.
Yeah. So I said, I there, it was pulling at strings there, people. So.
All right, we're going to get to the final episode of the day after this.
The race ain't over yet, baby. It's only just begun. They thought they had it won, baby, but soon we'll have 'em on the run. I'm coming from behind. Watch out behind. Watch out, what's steady disappear when I shift into high gear. Thought that we had lost, baby. They'll find out they're wrong. I'll rev it up real strong, baby. Deceived before too long. I'm coming from behind. Watch out behind. Watch out, what's steady disappear when I shift into high gear. Watch out behind. Watch out, what's steady disappear. I'm coming from behind.
All right, finally up today is Intrigue at the Indy 500. Air date was February 1st, 1987. So they took about 2.5 months off between Old Meets New and about 3 months. 3 months off, November to February. Yeah, so they took about 3 months off before the next episode. It's the holidays.
everyone deserves a holiday vacation.
Yeah. In this one, Starlight Music sponsors Indy 500 driver Martino Granzinetti. Just call him Mario Andretti already.
Yeah.
When
And
a
only if they
crash...
had a Luigi as well.
Right there is where we need the rim shot, ladies and gentlemen. When a crash lands Martino and Rio, I'm sure you like that, Nicole, in the hospital, Jem and the Holograms manage to rebuild the car, and Jem decides to race the car for the tournament. However, things turn nasty when Pizzazz enters the race and causes chaos on the track. The featured
and
song.
does she ever?
No. She was getting a job done that the guy before her couldn't do. And you know what? She kicked butt. Yeah. No.
The
Don't blame her for this, man.
The featured songs are I can't. Worst song title ever.
That was
that one of it. Oh my gosh.
That's in my misfit moments. Yep.
Worst song title ever. I'm Coming From Behind by Jem and the Holograms. Back in Shape, Jem and the Holograms, and Ahead of the Game by the Misfits.
Those were one of my misfit moments. I'm like, really?
Oh my god.
Who knew that a couple years later that would actually sound that bad?
That's what Rio says every time he comes in.
With
chloroform.
You're so bad.
The 80s. We were so naive in the 80s.
No.
I don't even know what else to say now, ladies and gentlemen.
There's nothing to come back to that. Just let it hang there.
No, it's... yeah.
Well,
what
it's
did you
better
think
than
of
having
it?
Pizzazz come up behind her, right? Okay, sorry.
Wow.
I'm really trying to go for some self-control here because I could say so many things with that line, but
yeah,
you know.
What fun is that? Self-control? What?
There are so many fans that are out there listening to this trying to have self-control. They're yelling at the podcast right now.
Just like, hurry it up. Guess you're annoying me.
What did you think of the plot, Amy?
It was good. It was fun. It was the whole, race car driving thing, and I don't ask me how it is that rock stars, especially girls, can suddenly take on the abilities of hardened veteran race car drivers, but hey, we'll go with it, right?
If Tony Stark can do it, anybody can do it.
Oh yeah,
and he was a drunk.
He was a rich drunk.
There should have been more tears in this, but luckily nobody died. Thankfully.
No, one just got severely maimed and is in the hospital in a body cast.
Yeah, and he'll be there for a year, so yeah. At least they were realistic about that.
Yeah, at least they were realistic about that.
How could it be real?
And apparently.
That'll be in my misfit moments.
And apparently, even though he's completely wrapped from head to toe, his face supposedly still looks like Rio.
Yeah, that'll be part of my misfit moments.
Maybe Jericho suffers from the same, kind of confusion that Rio does. Hey, this person looks like the person I love, but it can't be them. So yeah,
It's the purple hair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God! Thoughts on the plot, Nicole?
Thoughts on the plot?
Yeah, the plot.
I had a really fun time with this one because just like with the Indy car race, I'm just like, okay, where's the big wreck?
We have a theme going on here. We had a wrecking ball in the last episode. We have a wreck in this one. There you go.
I'm sorry. I like violence hopefully no one gets hurt unless it's Rio. Okay, but he brings it on himself. Okay. I just I love hearing people survive. Hey, this big huge catastrophe, even though it's someone else that brought it on. I know there was so many fun moments in this, but there was a couple moments of I face palmed. But
Yes, but there are a lot of really fun, awesome moments that were just
oh my
like,
gosh, there's so.
oh my gosh, that was epic.
I mean, this is a good show to talk about teamwork and communication and
Yes.
yeah, and showing up to people. If you're good at something, you take over. Pizzazz.
Mhm.
Okay. So, I would love to see Pizzazz as a little child learning to race a car. That would be fun to see. No, overall, I really enjoyed this episode. It was really there was a lot that went on in this episode.
Yes, there was.
So
All right, we are going to get to the hologram moments after this.
Everything's gone downhill. We can recapture the thrill. Don't say that we're through. We're gonna make it good as new. Gotta get it back in shape. Gotta get it back in shape. Gotta get it back in shape. Taking it nice and slow. I know we have far to go, but if we give it care, there's nothing we can't prepare. Gotta get it back in shape. Gotta get it back in shape. Gotta get it back in shape. Gotta get it back in shape.
It is time for the hologram moments. I love how they foiled Eric's plot before it could ever get off the ground. That was hilarious. And I laughed so hard when they all got thrown out. Misfits and Eric, just what they deserved. Because, again, Pizzazz does crap that ruins it for the Misfits.
She's crazy. She is. She's just crazy.
Yeah. Now, I know it means the Starlight Special, but I can't believe Martino's helmet says SS, and the first thing I thought was Showtime Synergy.
I was thinking the SS version of Camaro, and I'm like, that's not a Camaro. You should have the SS on there.
Yeah.
And I had to write this one down. I bet you were happy with the first cliffhanger, huh, Nicole?
What, about Rio falling off? I'm like, please break something. Like
Broke
your
his
head.
leg.
Like
I
your
think
head.
everybody was thinking that, oh, Nicole's going to give this one a real big, good score because guess what? Rio almost died. Half a point off because he didn't.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, Lord. Pizzazz gives the worst women drivers a bad name. Like, she just...
I don't know about that because she
I don't know
does
about
almost win.
She does, but I'm talking about, like the whole point,
Oh,
I
you're
thought
talking
of the...
about the beginning?
No. I'm talking about the race. I thought the whole point of these races was to not get into crashes. And
Oh, come on.
if she...
You ask any NASCAR fan, anyone that watches a car race, where do they look there for? They're looking for an accident waiting to happen. They're wanting a wheel to come into the audience and knock someone bloody. You know? That's what people are wanting. And rarely happens, but people secretly want that.
Uh-huh.
Are you saying that the only reason why people watch races is because it's so terrifying they can't look away?
Maybe that.
Yeah. Much. What about you, Amy? What'd you like about this one?
Let's see. Hologram moments. I have a few. I thought that Pizzazz throwing darts at Eric's face was awesome.
Yes.
It was brilliant. I liked the Gem and the Holograms entrance. It was really cool when they coming down and singing their song. Can't say anything about the title, but you know, hey. I love
you can
the
say
fact,
plenty about the title.
I'm sure. Pizzazz and Eric being thrown out of the party was ace. That was just brilliant. But you know, the good thing is that Eric does have a lovely singing voice. I also had to put that in there. He's like, when he thinks that, you know, he's got the he puts in another bid or a bet or whatever, and he comes back thinking that, oh, I'm gonna win a lot of money. Yeah. I like Pizzazz's dress at the Indy. I thought it was kind of cool, very colorful.
So cool.
Very 80s, very 80s. I was like, "Aw, I miss the 80s because of that."
I'd still wear it. That was a cool dress.
It was. Eric feeling the heat is awesome.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, hey, he goes from singing to, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Naming their car 007 was pretty slick.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Eric betting on Gem was a good move until Pizzazz messed it up.
So Pizzazz trying to kick butt.
It's just, you knew that that's what he did. I mean, they didn't say it, but you knew that that's why he was humming and having his lovely singing voice. Like, oh, I know the best way to make this work. We'll just bet on Gem on the holograms and I'll win. Yay!
And Pizzazz had to go and mess it up.
Oh, jeez, yeah. I mean, I think if he had said, I just bet on Gem on the holograms, she would have still gotten involved. Because you're like, oh, no, you didn't. Oh, goodness. Synergy playing Pizzazz's conscience was brilliant. Especially when Pizzazz said she didn't have one. I was like, oh, I don't have a conscience.
I really like that. I really like that part, too.
I had to stop the show and laugh for a little bit. So
I liked how she was like on a flying guitar.
It was just awesome. Oh gosh, wow. And beware, mobbers. Pizzazz is worse, especially when she's behind the wheel and she's mad at Eric.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty funny.
That's that alone. I mean, that just on the hologram moments alone, I'm gonna rate this one pretty good because that was just too awesome.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Nicole, for hologram moments?
Hologram. Hey, I am totally with Pizzazz on this episode. I know, shocker. But hey, I want to go to a party. No, not really. I want to go to a party too. I hear about this party and no one invited me, but everyone's talking about it. Yeah, I want to go and I'm going to try and make my way into it.
Yeah, you can't let Pizzazz not go to a party. If she knows somebody's going to a party, she's got to be there.
If Eric would have just invited her, that wouldn't have happened. He should know this by now, Eric.
Yes, but he was worried about her like ruining the whole mob thing that he was trying to hook up with, because that's basically what he was doing.
Hey, well, the thing is, just invite her. Let her go run amok of place else. He doesn't have to always be by her.
Yes, but you know what? Past behavior predicts that she would be involved somehow.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's why, I mean, he was being wise, but he just should have just said, okay, look, I'll let you come, but I will pay you thousands of dollars if you just leave me alone in my little corner with the mob guys, okay?
And that's another thing I bring up in his hologram moment. Eric is loaded. He is loaded.
Well, yes, he knows his Lex Luthor, so all he had to do was just bribe Pizzazz.
I just want to know, how much money does Eric have to bribe a Indy 500 sponsor? An Indy 500 sponsor is major, and he bribed him? I was like, dang, how does he get his money? Nice, Eric. Oh, and
this is why the Lex Luthor idea completely works, because Lex Luthor's loaded too.
The brother.
I'm actually kind of surprised that he hasn't tried to say, Lex, fix this for me. I need you to take care of Pizzazz. Throw her a big party so I can go do my thing.
Hey, there you go. That's a good idea. Oh, and Pizzazz has the best binoculars ever. Those were the most stylish binoculars I've ever seen in my life.
Daddy gave them to her.
And I like that the holograms actually went over to the Misfit side and did some cheating to win. Yes. Holograms are finally learning how to play the game.
They're learning how to play dirty.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of enjoyed that. I'm like, Gem's using her wicked ways to win. I like this. Those are my hologram moments.
Oh my god.
What are you saying? What's going on? What's your problem?
Nothing. Let's get to the Misfit moments.
If you want people knowing your name, you gotta stay ahead of the game. Ahead of the game. Ahead of the game. The winner stay ahead of the game. If you're going after fortune and fame, you gotta stay ahead of the game. Every move you make must keep you in first place. You make one mistake, someone's gonna trump your race. Ahead of the game, you gotta stay ahead of the game. If you don't want it to go up in flames, you gotta stay ahead of the game. You gotta stay ahead of the game.
All right, it is time for the Misfit moments for this episode. The guy, the mob strong arm guy, is he really that strong to rip a spring loose?
Hey, I don't know. You know, steroids these days.
Yeah. And Nicole would know because she's the drug
Hey,
queen.
and
Wow.
I'm so accident prone. I actually ripped a fence off the hinges one time. Not on purpose. Is the thing.
I was
So
gonna
it's
say,
so-
but he broke that spring on purpose. So
yeah, and he broke it on purpose. So I believe it could happen.
How does she not know that wasn't Rio? Martino's voice is such a complete difference than Rio's.
I think it's because she liked the tonation because he wasn't whining. And I'm like, oh, you're not whining. I'm going to go over to you just to enjoy it for a few seconds. She knew Rio was the whiny bitch next door. Sorry.
I know you like this, Nicole, but I have to call into question, how the hell does she have evil eye binoculars?
I
That's
love
just
the binoculars. I love them.
I don't dislike it, but it's just the strangest, weirdest, out there thing.
it's pizzazz, of course it
She's
is.
a fashionista, you know?
Sometimes to her detriment.
Ain't that the truth? What do you have for Misfit moments, Amy?
Stealing the Rockin' Roadster, and they didn't even get in trouble with the police or the law or anything. They just got thrown out of the party. Yeah.
See, again, that proves my point that Jim and the Holograms likes them causing commotion because they give them something to talk about. Because Jericho could have had them arrested how many times, but they're just like, no, they gave us promotions. They gave us free publicity. See, she's doing the business type thing with the Misfits.
Rio doesn't join the girls to take pictures, and because of that, he gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness. I put that in the Misfit moments just because I thought, dude, you should always know. You're a guy. You would have wanted to get right up there, right up where the cars are. You would have been describing the different parts and saying, what kind the engines are and all of the stuff and all that, because that's what a guy does. But oh no. He's going to be one of the girls, and he's going to be, they have a complete role reversal here. The Holograms, instead of being up on the rafter, it's Rio. So,
Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to get his hands dirty.
he is.
His precious little hands.
I think you're right. He is secretly a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
So Martino missed his chance to make Jericho his because, hey, that was a perfect opportunity. And, that would have been great because he would have caused more jealousy between Rio and her. I wanted that conflict in there, man. Because can you imagine how that whole scene would have gone if he'd, gotten a kiss? If Martino had gotten a kiss? And then Rio had been
awesome.
What? You come in here to see me and you're kissing on the other guy? What is going on here? Talk about drama. That would have been great.
That would have been awesome.
And she also destroys Rio's flowers.
Oh, that was awesome. That should have been a Misfit moment. That was a hologram moment, girlfriend.
True. But I was like, dude, it's like you're totally dissing on Rio.
Do you blame her?
Okay, so Synergy deals with holograms, or does she design cars?
Yeah, I didn't get I'm like, so they had the blueprints to a car. Do they have any other knowledge of how a car works?
Yeah, but okay, so if they follow Synergy the whole night to make a car, like it's just crazy because one, they'd have to work their butts off. Two, they'd have to know what they're doing, and I have a hard time believing that they know how to do that.
See, this is what my misfit moments is, because my dad built a whole car by himself.
How long did it take him to do it?
And it took almost 3 months of him working pretty much every night.
That's
and
why
even then it wasn't completed, and so it's just like they got it done overnight.
Well, granted, they had 4 people, but you're also looking at the fact that the time and the effort that it takes to make some of that stuff. So I couldn't believe that over a one evening, even 4 people, even being directed by a really awesome hologram thing like Synergy, I really seriously doubt they would have been able to pull a car together that fast. So that was my misfit moment. I was like, oh geez, I don't know if I could do that. And then on top of that, the rock stars, which I've mentioned, if they have enough training to make good race drivers. So, let's see this one. Oh, I don't know how Jem could get back in the race if her car was damaged, and Pizzazz was so far ahead. So how did she make up the time? And granted, her car is damaged, so like the whole axle thing goes out, and at the very end, she's crashing through the race at the very end. But still, it was just kind of like, okay, how could she get back in the race again? And then again, Rio is playing between Jem and Jerrica in this episode. She goes in to see him, and she's like, oh, and then at the end, he's kissing on Jem. Really? I'd like to believe that was in because of the flowers, off screen.
Oh yeah.
Jerrica says, "Why are you kissing Jem?" He's like, "Well, you destroyed my flowers."
Wow. He goes to
move.
kiss the other girl just because the other one destroyed his. Wow. Yeah, you're right. That is such a girly move. Oh my god. This show so crazy. What about you, Nicole, for misfit moments?
Mine's very similar to Amy's here. Gem racing. There is regulations in NASCAR. You can't just switch drivers like that unless you're part of like a team, like team racing and stuff. There's no regulations in this Indy 500 whatsoever.
No.
Changing bets. Eric Raymond changed bets 3 times. When you make a bet, you can't go change, especially since the race just started. Not gonna happen.
Just before it ends.
Yeah. No. That was like the most unbelievable. I mean, I've been to horse races before. Once that little bell goes off, all bets are down. You can't make more bets. You can't change your bets.
Yes, but he was already running a little bit of a.
I know, but you actually think some scumbag mobster is going to be like, oh yeah, I'll let you change the bet to the person that's winning. Whatever. Yeah. And let's see. And I also have, what's with the Rio kissing on the other woman again?
Yeah.
Rio.
It was the flowers. Just saying.
Okay, it's totally understandable now. I understand you, Rio. Well, the 2 women, I get you. Yeah, those are my best moments. So.
All right, we are gonna take a quick ad break, and we'll come back with ratings and final thoughts after this.
Jem will be right back after these messages.
So let's say you're looking for a podcast of your favorite 80s comic books, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, He-Man, etc. Where are you going to go to find us?
Welcome to Star Joe's Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan.
And I'm Chuck. That's right, everybody. We're the Star Joes. We host a podcast called Star Joe's Podcast, where we talk about your favorite comic books, your favorite toys of all the 80s properties.
Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Mask, Thundercats, Voltron, you name it, we cover it. If it's in the 80s, we'll cover it at some point.
Yes, so what you want to do to find us, you can go to iTunes, you can go to www.starjoes.com.
And remember, the Force will be with you.
Because knowing us is half the battle.
Grab your helmets because it's time to assemble Mask. Mask Mayhem is here with your hosts TFG and Mike, Optimus Solo, and brand new host Toon Master Tim. This podcast covering all 75 episodes of Mask will feature in-depth analysis of every episode, talking the toys, and more. Mask Mayhem will run 30 podcast episodes. You can find us on iTunes and www.geekcastradio.com. So get your spectrums ready, as podcasting is the ultimate weapon.
Soundwave, jam that transmission! Rumble frenzy, ravage rat bat, eject, operation interference.
No, there will be no Operation Interference. I am TFG1 Mike, and you should be listening to my very first podcast, the TFG1 Podcast. 24 episodes covering the entire U.S. run of the 1984 Transformers cartoon. I also have a few supplemental episodes and an interview with Stan Bush. I bring in guest hosts who will be full-time co-hosts in Steve Megatron and fan of the show now co-host Pecan Court Michael. So check out the TFG1 Podcast. You can find it on iTunes and the web at www.geekcastradio.com. Transform and roll out.
And now, back to Gem.
Alright, we are back. Amy, what are you going to rate Island of Deception?
I actually thought they did pretty good with this one. I rated it a 4.
All right. Nicole?
This was probably, like I said, this is one that I remembered from when I was younger, and I still had fun watching it. I'm giving it a 4.5.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm. It still had Rio in it, and his creepy beard.
I'm telling you, he's gray underneath that purple.
He's gray other places too, honey. What about you, Mike?
He doesn't know what to follow with that, right?
I have to take 2 points off for them not even asking about Jem after Jerica is the one returning with them at the end. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Old meets new, Amy?
I'm going to give this one a 3.5.
Okay. Nicole?
I agree, 3.5.
Wow, I am going to give it a 5. I really dug it. There was only, the whole thing with, somebody please lock Pizzazz up and throw away the key.
Why? If there was no Pizzazz, there would be no Gem in the Holograms show.
Yeah, there's she makes really great conflict. Just need to give her something to, calm her down.
Nicole?
What? Are you suggesting something?
Of course.
Are you implying something?
Yes. Intrigue at the Indy 500.
Oh,
what do you
we're not
give
going
that?
to finish this conversation, are we?
No, we're not. Amy, Intrigue at the Indy 500.
Trying to decide. I'm going to give it a 4.5 because I really, really liked that whole, I don't have a conscience. It's just awesome.
What about you, Nicole?
There was a lot of fun things. I'm going with a 4.5 too. Pizzazz is awesome. I'm sorry. She's crazy insane, and someone really needs to give her some therapy. But she's so much fun.
And the mob people actually recognize this. They're like, "Oh, we don't have to do anything."
Yeah, we don't have to do.
Eric's goose is cooked.
She proves that she's got great fashion sense between her crazy dress and binoculars. She's got great driving skills. You know what? And she has no conscience. I'm just like, I want to party with this girl, man.
She should teach Aja.
Yeah, Aja.
Oh God, no.
Because Aja just wants to work out and cause everyone pain. Zaz wants to bring the party to you. That's all she's wanting to do is bring parties to Gem and the Holograms, but they don't get that, What about you, Mike?
Appreciate.
I think Nicole was Pizzazz in a past life.
I do like eating.
I've noticed. For me, I'm going to give it a 4. I really did enjoy it. it was really cool. There wasn't anything that really pissed me off or made it stand out for a Misfit moment. Sure, I wrote a couple of things down, but they were just little nitpicks. But overall, a 4 for me. What do we think of where? We're almost at the end, because next time around is the final 4 episodes of the series of season 1.
Yeah. Yep.
So, what do we think of the show so far, ladies?
Well, I'm still loving it. I'm still watching it. I'm still having a blast.
Well, if you weren't still watching it, we wouldn't still be doing the show. So.
And this is my second, time going through this whole series since, the beginning of this year. So, there you go.
What about you, Nicole?
I hate it. It's miserable. I just do not like this anymore. Of course I'm liking it. Have you guys heard me? I'm loving this. If it wasn't for Kimber and Rio, it would be awesome.
I have to agree with that. If it wasn't for Kimber and Rio. Yeah.
In all fairness, Kimber, she's
They're
on
the
that
only
edge.
downers.
It
They're
just
the only
depends-
downers. Yeah.
It just depends if Kimber is boy crazy in the episode. You're just like, ugh. Oh, and then the Rio shows up and you're just like, ugh.
Who are you kissing on this time? You know what? Rio and Kimber should get together.
Talk about having some loose lips.
Loose lips, Rio. Woohoo.
Oh my god.
Well, that'd be like the ultimate sloppy seconds.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Ow. Okay, that broke me good. I'm crying here.
Oh shit.
But like you said, I would like to see more stories of the like of Shayna and Aja, and even more of the Misfits like Roxy and Stormer. But we got Roxy and Stormer stories coming up in the next couple seasons, which are really great stories, and I look forward to that. But I just wish there was a little bit more. But it's the first season. Of course, you're going to concentrate on the headline character. Let's bring people to the show. So.
All right. Thank you for joining us here on Showtime Synergy. There are several ways to get in contact with us to leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. We can use all the iTunes feedback we can get. Follow us on Twitter. You can follow me, TFG, and Mike. You can also follow at GeekCastRadio for all the other network updates. Amy, what is your Twitter?
Lady of Wreck.
And Nicole?
Yeah.
You can flush things out. Okay. Take a bite out of crime. No, I'm at Beatles Diva. Beatles like the band, not the book.
And just chew.
Yeah. You've got it.
Nom.
This is my PSA. When chewing on another human being, make sure you take little bites and chew very thoroughly, because choking on your friend is not a good thing.
Wow.
Now, all as I can think of, and this has nothing to do with anything that people don't know what the hell we're talking about, but now all as I can think of, now that you said that, is, when sucking the marrow out of life, you got to make sure you don't choke on the bone.
That goes with the song coming from behind.
We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Showtime Synergy, and wish you'll join us next time when we will be reviewing.
Don't let your children hear this.
You gotta put an explicit rating on this one.
The entire show is explicit. We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Showtime Synergy, and wish you'll join us next time when we're reviewing
it.
the final 4 episodes of Gem and the Hologram Season 1. Those being the Gem Jam Parts 1 and 2, Culture Clash, and Glitter and Gold. We will also be doing a Season 1 wrap-up in the next episode, and a Season 2 teaser as well. For now, I am M with...
Sloppy Seconds.
and the teasing Nicole.
Tune in next time and help us get truly
I'm coming up
outrageous.
from behind. Watch out.
Tune in next time and almost get truly outrageous with Showtime Synergy.
Let me interrupt some more.
Me and my friends are jealous.